Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the third episode of GA Friday Night Live. Here we are, the 17th of December. We got some pretty important guests, some pretty cool guests. We're going to start off with our first one here. The current XO of the Vieille Garde, a member of the Garde Impériale for 2.5 years, one of the oldest veterans of the genre, Zenin or Die, also known as Olo.
Hello.
Welcome on. And for our next guest, one of his captains, a personal friend of mine, and also one of the most new officers that I actually know, Valiant Heftig, CEO of the Grenadiers Aightdad Company.
Hey everyone, thank you for letting me on.
Yeah, so welcome on, guys. So you guys just got out of an event, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
we just got a pretty spicy event, pretty good one, honestly. And
Was it a line battle or
It was
no,
a skirmish.
it was a skirmish. It was a skirmish.
you win?
Unfortunately, no.
It was a draw.
It was
a draw.
It got pretty. What's the word? What's the word? All?
I guess spicy towards the end. I mean, we were leading at first, and started pulling back, and started pulling away again. Then it just ended in a draw. It was pretty wild, but pretty fun as well at the same time.
Yeah.
Pretty enjoyable.
Well, I guess you guys definitely held up the standard of the Guard never surrenders, huh?
Yes, indeed.
So, how long have you guys been together?
Well,
Not
for
like in
me-
a gay way. Not like in a gay way, but like just like just like just like as friends, like in the old guard.
since Valiant joined, like
Yeah.
August. Well, when did you join Valiant?
I joined in late August, I believe. That's when I joined.
Exactly. And that's when we became friends, and I kind of picked him up from since he was a chasseur at the time. I kind of picked him up myself to replace our dear French chat, who retired a few months back, to replace him, and he's been doing a brilliant job since then, and
Thank you.
it's been great help to us.
Yeah. So Valiant, how did you get your start? Because like I know the start of like Moon and Olo and maybe even Joel Talks, but like how did you get into the Vieille Garde? Like did you go through the VGEP program or?
Well, when I joined, there wasn't exactly a VGEP program. In fact, it was kind of removed, in my opinion. When I joined, it was pretty much open enlistment. I was coming out of the 5070. I was a volunteer officer for a few months, and I had spent pretty much half of my lifetime in the 5070. It was a really good time there, and I joined Vieille Garde because I was tired of being an officer. I felt like I was gonna get busy more with school, and funny enough, here I am back as an officer. So that's how it started.
Yeah. It's funny how the world works.
Yeah.
So since you are new and since Zenin's kind of like a real big senior, 2.5 years as opposed to maybe half a year, what are some things you two have like really like enjoyed about your regiment?
For me, I would like to say the scale, but for me, it's definitely the community. I mean, to build a community apart from all the battles, etc., to build a community within the regiment, to build what we have done, to what we have done in the old guard, I think it's something I'm proud of. Because we kind of have built or trying to build, and I think we're pretty successful at that, building this sense of brotherhood within the regiment, which is going out pretty well, and that's what I'm proud of. That's the biggest achievement probably out there.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any inputs
Yeah.
of Valiant on that?
Well, for me, it's what Olo said. It's a sense of brotherhood. The person next to you is the same skill level as you. You're both really skilled individuals. You can fight really well on the battlefield, and that's somewhat of a reason why you would join the Vieille Garde, is the professionalism, the discipline, and whatnot. That's the most what I've loved.
Yeah, and with that brotherhood, have you guys created like traditions? Like do you guys, like I know the 5070 has like 5070 Friday and sold out of the week and stuff. And the Lancers have like drip checks before each raid. But like do you guys have anything special?
guess our tradition will be pretty popular, and we like to scream or yell in chat, "Help Putin," etc. It's pretty common to see us do that. I guess it's our little tradition. And myself, going back to past traditions that the 1 year had in the previous GA, I would love to bring back what was the Golden Grenadier. It was a big tradition we had. We don't have it now, but it's something that I would be happy to bringing back. It's an old tradition we used to have, basically congratulating and rewarding the best soldier of the month in the regiment. But as of now, I guess our little tradition is that hill put thing.
Yeah, thinking about it
Yeah.
now, we could actually implement that law. Coming out of this after,
It's
that does
yeah,
sound really cool.
it's a
Yeah.
pretty cool concept, and people enjoyed it at the time.
Yeah, maybe in a William says he'll authorize that. Since Pood retired, didn't he?
Yes.
he sadly retired. He was in cavalry. I don't remember which branch, but
No, he was
then
in
he-
Navy, I believe. He commanded the floor ship, I believe, and then he retired.
yeah, he retired then. Yeah,
Yeah. Does he still have like a big effect? Like I guess like spiritually?
he does. He does pretty big effect spiritual because he was a big member. He was probably he was definitely here longer than I was in GA. When I joined GA in 2019, Pood was a lieutenant, pretty sure, in the old guard when I joined, or yeah, in the old guard exactly. So he's always been part of the guard. He later became the CEO of the middle guard in the past GA before eventually giving up that place to Conan. So he is still a big part of us, and we hold him dear still, despite him departing us. And I see Utter jumping there in the crowd is pretty pretty excited about all the talk about food.
Yeah. And so you mentioned he was a part of middle guard, and that brings me to another question. Like, what's your relationship, like, as a regimental standard, like, with the rest of the guard? Because, like, I remember the original system was, like, the young guard and middle guard would, like, feed you guys recruits. But, like, now you guys have your own, like, VGEP programs. So, like, do you guys still, like, work together hand in hand, or do you still maybe choose recruits from those regiments?
Valen, why don't you answer this one? I've been talking for a while now.
Well, since I've been mostly handling the VGEP program on my own, alongside 1ER, however, he's been a huge help in that. Anyways, I would say no, we don't particularly recruit or look into members within Young Guard or Middle Guard and try to recruit them to VG. Yeah, it's sort of like we respect them and we don't want to take any members from them. And as for our relationship with the other guard regiments, I would say, like, hey, I think we're cool, right? For instance, cool.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
a very stable relationship. I mean, today we had a pretty again going back to that battle with the young guard. I think everybody enjoyed that particular battle, and I mean our relationship is good, and it's just going to keep on improving hopefully, because we're probably as a core we're probably the most what's the word, unified core. And that's what's the guard's supposed to be. So my goal is to just one day bringing back the graduation system, because I'd be bringing the three regiments back together really in the hard way like it was before.
Yeah, because I know in old GA you guys were definitely real close knit. The guard literally I don't think ever separated for raids. Like I think it was always the guard corps always fought alongside each other, kind of like a regiment would with separate companies almost.
He used to be a regiment. Like it's just a single regiment with three companies, which was the young guard, middle guard, and old guard.
Yeah, wasn't that back in 2019 GA?
2019 and into 2020. He only became a core towards the end of last GA.
Yeah, wasn't that when we split to EI? Because I remember the 2E had to convert to the 4E because you guys were going to be the 2E middle guard or something.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So, obviously, since, like, the core kind of fights together, like, out of all the regiments you've had to fight with outside of your core, which do you think would be, like, the one you trust the most to, like, have your back in a fight?
Fifth 70. It's a pretty easy answer, that one. Definitely for sure 570.
You
I
said
mean,
within our core, correct? Or like within
No, like
GA?
outside of your core.
yeah, within GA.
I'd have to say the 18E. I've had some pretty good experiences with them, so 18E definitely.
It's pretty balanced between us two, I guess. But I mean, old guard, 1 year in general, has had a big history with 570. But I also agree with Valen. 18E is also up there as one of the top regiments in our opinion, outside of the Guard Corps, of course.
Yeah, and
It's pretty fun fighting with them.
yeah, it's always been a pleasure, definitely fighting with the old. So let me think. On top of of all the successes you guys have had, what have been some real big struggles for the old guard that you guys have had to encounter? Maybe recently, or maybe over summer, or maybe even like when school first started and you had to deal with like the decreasing activity.
Guess Valen can do that one since he's
Well, you've
been
kind
more
of
active
been
this
here
year.
longer, so
Well,
I
I
don't
can
know.
start with one very recent one, which the fortunate disbandment of shows us that was pretty hard, since we essentially lost half of our staff. We bounced back quickly, but I mean we still kind of haven't coped with it since the Gesture company isn't really a thing yet. And it was something really hard to deal with, the loss of the Gesture company. Um, Another probably, what else? During the war was pretty too even for us. So we had that one war raid. I forgot who it was against. I think we were defending the fort.
It was against the
Uh,
Americans, yeah.
and they just took the fort within like 5 minutes, and it was related to all of GA, but for the old guy itself, it was hard because we were in that battle. And the whole guard, I think, was in that battle. For the whole guard to just, and other regiments as well, suffer defeat like that was pretty hard to take. Even when two of the three wars we had ended in an unfortunate draw, which we hopefully will get back to that. That we'll get back to them in the future. I think those are the two main points where I think we've struggled the most during at least this new GA.
Yeah. What did happen with the Chasseurs up here? Why did they get disbanded?
I could go on about
Suncrafters,
this if you want. Oh, well.
you
No,
can,
sorry.
because you were part of the chasseurs. I think you can explain it a little bit better.
So I used to be a sergeant for the Chasseurs. So eventually, after a bit of time after I became the CEO, some disagreements happened between Mooncrafters and Suncrafters, and Suncrafter decided to leave and go to another GA, involving some of her members as well within the Chasseurs, and it just all fell apart, and that's why I was disbanded.
It was a pretty big deal at the time. I mean, even Nap came back because Nap at the time was kind of dormant. He even came back for one split second to hit at us. So yeah, it was a big deal for the regiment to just lose a company like that. It's
Dang.
something for the. It can happen to anyone. It's something for the regiments to learn. One day, the people you trust the most, and this is probably a lesson, can just one day stab you in the back, and you don't even know about it. So it's just a lesson you got to learn. We learned it the hard way this time, but we bounce back. We keep bouncing back.
Do you think there'll be a chance you might open the Chasseurs up yet in the future?
Oh, definitely. We've been talking about it for months now.
Yeah, we
Definitely.
really hope for it as well. Since they're the sharpshooters of us, we need them.
Yeah. Is it just like a problem of finding staff for the company, or
That
Or
is
what?
one
It is,
issue of it. Yes, that is.
but I think we'll have one person that probably will be chosen for that in the future. I'm not going to say who, of course, because this is staff talk again. But he's been with the Sisters before. Maybe I'm hitting too much. I should probably shut up now.
Yeah, they're in the audience as well.
Don't release too much. But enough about the past. For the future of Vieille Garde, what are some things you want to like really see like improve, or just what are things you want to add to the regiment?
What do you want for the Grenadiers, Valin?
Well, one thing I want to see is a lot of grenadiers. You know, it's really just my ambition to have a large amount of grenadiers. You know, at least rallying 15 every event, but still maintaining the standards. You know, if we do continue to rally low numbers, it's part of us. We're the old guard. We're supposed to have tight standards, but I feel like if we kind of keep rallying these low numbers, we'll just kind of be swept away as GA grows. You know.
It's part of that, but I always say to my staff, whenever we have a staff meeting, a big one about what's for the future, I always say the sky is not the limit, because I never set a limit for my staff. I want them to reach as high as possible, and that's never going to happen because I'm never going to be happy with the regiment. There's always going to be something to pick at. But currently, an objective for now would probably be to rally 30 one day and try to really grow the regiment to rally that tally. And another thing will be to, while rallying that, keeping our great KDRs during raids, because sometimes you grow too big and you have this a lot of new people that may drag the regiment down. But we have a system put in place to make sure our skill levels stay up and our rallies stay up as well, and basically try to keep both consistent. So that's really the objective for now, is to try to hit that 30 rally tally. And maybe with the chasseurs in the future, maybe the chasseurs will help us achieve that. So I guess I could add chasseurs to that. It's rallying 30 and opening up chasseurs. That's the objective for now. And then after that, we'll see. Because as I said, sky is not the limit. There's no limit for the old guard, at least.
I gotcha. So we're gonna move on to our next segment here. We got a few photos of just some. It's actually kind of hard to find stupid photos of you guys without getting my account banned.
That's like,
don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. But yeah, we found what we could without getting naked. Here's our first image.
Or without saying, I remember. I think that's an edit. I don't know what the fuck happened there. Those are the uniforms, the new uniforms for the old guard. It's kind of bad for you to be leaking that like that.
Hey,
El Prince will be very mad.
El Prince makes some drippy stuff, dude. I expect nothing less than the best for the Vieille Garde.
Exactly.
I think my man will have something to say about that.
Honestly, when I first saw this, I kind of thought it was like, I actually thought it was real for like a split second. I was like, because like how bots infiltrate groups and stuff. I was like, there might have been, some slip up. Some officer accidentally hit the promotion button. I don't know. Think the rainbow emojis.
I'll be funny for him.
With the amount of emojis, I thought it might have been mooncrafters, especially with the rainbows. Thought at the very least, Moon tried to be a little sus. All right, let me bring out the next one. Where is it? There it is.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, this is you, Valiant.
You want to explain the story, or?
Yeah.
So on one fateful day, I was just random raiding when good old French Chad joined. This was when he was still an officer, and I asked him to make me a sapper. And at the moment, I just want to make entrenchments, but I thought it would be really funny if I just made the entire inner fortress dirt mounds. True French warfare could have been achieved, and it did. You could even see it from the spawn-in menu. That's how many I made. It got to such a bad degree of mounds that there was even a suggestion for it. Just shit talking it. It was really funny for me.
Really? People were shit talking it?
Yeah, they made a whole suggestion over it. I could, find the screenshot of it for you later.
Yep.
That's great.
Did you expand it like outside the fort, or was it just like just in the fort?
I tried to. You know, it got all the way to the Ottoman spawn. Actually, that's how many. It went from the entrance to A to their spawn. It was really fun. I did it on my own. Just gonna say that.
Really?
Yeah, it took
Know
me
how-
good 2 hours.
2 hours on Acre?
Yeah.
If you weren't an officer, you'd be our regimental sniper. Let me tell that. Sorry, comrade, but comrade, you have to do. If he's watching, you have to do this for us to keep your spot, or else I'm demoting Valiant to become our new regimental sniper.
Dang, that's cold, man. All right, let me bring up the next one. Here we are. I think this one's a little bit more recent. This might have been when the chasseurs were in that photo in the back row.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I
Colin,
actually
were you
slept
there?
really. Yeah, I was. It was. I think it was a training. I believe it was. It was funny.
Thank you,
You
Joe
guys-
Talks. You
You
idiot.
guys
He
died
always does this
information.
stuff. He always does this stuff. Joe Talks. We're doing a training. Everything is fine. Or we're doing a PR. Joe Talks comes in at the end because he's like the funniest man alive, and he does fucking ragdoll velocity 15, just kills everybody and just to see everybody fly off. He's a cunt. Fuck him.
Yeah, I remember he even did that at the end of that training. He did do that.
I think I remember in the 57E when we fought you guys a couple times, he set the ragdolls to like 50 mid-raid.
Oh yeah.
And
I
someone would get sniped, and you'd see like a body like fling out of a tree.
I remember that. That was pretty funny.
Especially in melee combat.
What would GA be without him?
Dude. Oh, dude, do you remember the when me and Coolmaster were in Swiss when we had that old guard versus Swiss raid, and you literally just kept going from corner to corner?
Oh
What was
yeah.
wasn't the ragdoll set like that on that one? I remember too as well.
I'm pretty
Oh, I
sure,
think
yeah.
I remember that. I'm pretty sure because we had a raid with. Well, I remember we had a raid with the ragdoll velocity set like that, and it was because of Jotox trying to be funny, and it was funny, honestly. Trying to have a serious PR and just see someone flying off a tree.
I wouldn't doubt if Joltok started doing that during war events. I think there's a reason Men of War mods have to moderate and not him.
Yeah, probably.
He's the reason we had to bring those in.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we were only able to collect 3 images. We were gonna do the anime photos you sent me, Zenon, but something happened.
It's not
was
family
a-
friendly, unfortunately.
That was another.
Sorry.
There was another photo that I wanted to talk about, which is Utter, you fucking idiot, and 1 year old too. You're part of this. That was Utter holding the 57E flag, and I apologize if there's anybody. I don't think there's anybody from the 57E watching this, but those guys, right? They got invited to a line battle. Only Utter in 1 year old. There was no officer approving it. They got invited to a fucking line battle. They went either way. They couldn't form a regiment, so they were basically skirmishing against lines and capped like a shit ton of fucking fogs. All right. I came back from school with a shit ton of DMs from like officers from all over the regiments, just saying, "What the fuck were you guys doing? You just went into a raid without a flag. You just started capping everything." And other decided to be fucking toxic in general. It's also had to demote it from a week. Fuck you, Otter. Now you got a adjutant Sue somehow. Oh, for fuck's sake. What a retard. Yeah, Otter. Yeah, Otter.
It sucks that Roblox DMCs everything, dude. Those anime photos would have actually been pretty funny. I'll post
they would have.
I'll repost them in GA Gallery for the rest of the army to see later.
Yeah. Araki's in one of them.
Yeah, I think you're in one of them too, Zenon.
Yeah, I'm in both. I think I was a sergeant at the time.
Yeah, I think you are in both. But we'll end off with our last segment here. Over here we have a couple. We have a VGEP cadet, and then we have an old guard member. We were gonna include the chasseurs, but you guys told us not to because if we ever do a second episode with you,
Work
we'll
in
include
progress.
them.
Work in progress. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you guys like to come up here and just explain what each of these guys do and how to join the old guard and why you should join the old guard.
Well, if I want to explain your company, I'll explain the VGP.
All right. Well, the Grenadier Company, they're meant to be the cream of the crop, bred from some of the most, skilled melee fighters within the regiment, of course, such as one ER, Utter, and Iraqi to some degree too, although he wasn't excess, sure. But so, a lot of this uniform itself is sold at Premier, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, so the Premier.
And this is the main company within the regiment too. And this is what you usually will be if you do join a regiment. It can be easy or really difficult to become someone like this. It just takes a lot of skill and dedication and how you really look on it.
Mm-hmm.
So now we go on to our. Can I say this on YouTube? It starts with a K.
Go ahead.
All right. So before becoming a true Frencharian, which is on the right, you first have to become a KKK member, which is on the left side. And this is a pretty simple process. You first go through a tryout that usually lasts like 2 hours to 2 days. We vary a lot, but usually it's 2 days. And you pass that tryout, and you become a KKK member. And that's where we evaluate your skills as a if you deserve to become a true Frencharian. And once you pass that, you become a true Frencharian. If you don't pass that, you get kicked out of the regiment. That's pretty simple. It's basically our version of the conscript rank, but it's under a specialized program. Since graduations, and this is because of the fact that graduations no longer exist, so we had to adapt this. This used to be OGEP back in last GA, so we had to adapt this to the new GA since due to the fact that graduations were being removed. So to ensure quality control in the old guard, and so that the regiment didn't just have open recruitment and just a simple tryout, we decided to implement the VGEP vac, and it has worked out pretty well because we've been having excellent talent coming through that company. No, not technically a company. They're technically part of the Grenadiers, and they do everything a Grenadier does, but they just don't. They haven't reached that level yet, that status yet. And
yeah.
And honestly, if any of you there is really skilled and hasn't joined a regiment in GA yet, come try it out. It's a way of becoming an old guard. It's hard. It'll be a pain in the ass since you have to go through a pretty lengthy tryout and then through a pretty lengthy period as a guy in a white uniform. At the end, it's worth it. And
the ends justify the means to become a true Frencharian.
Exactly, Ryan. Thank you for that. Very wise words, and I think that sums it up. That sums it all for what the VGEP is now.
And what does the EP stand for? VGEP?
Entrance program.
Oh, okay. I thought it meant like elongated penis. Not gonna lie.
That's the next step. That's the next step.
I thought that was what it was called in the 4E. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought it was just Vieille Garde elongated penis.
If it was that, the acronym was made by Jotox, not by us. So it's on him.
Wish Jotox makes this. All right. Well, thanks to you guys for coming out, and thank you to the crowd.
Thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure, man.
As jumpy as ever. All right, you can fire the cannon now, Momo. And now you guys can jump out of your seats. Now you're allowed to come to the front and jump out. There we go.
Thank you for our kind audience.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you all not next week, not next Friday, but we'll see you on New Year's Eve after Christmas. Go enjoy your family. Don't spend your time on Roblox. Go open presents or something. Go eat some ham.
I don't even know what I'm gonna do this next week because Christmas Eve is right on Friday, so I don't know if I'll just not have events the next week. Depends on the results of the war battle. Because if it was the war battle, I'm definitely gonna have a training on Christmas Eve.
And I'm gonna get out of the job.
just pray the Ottomans retreat after this weekend.
Just pray the Ottomans retreat. Yeah, exactly. But thank you all for coming in the audience, and thank you for having us Aightdad and Coolmaster and Momo.
Really
man.
And everybody else in the crew. Yeah, definitely. And if we're ever going to be back here, maybe with Moon. I don't know when Moon will be available.
The truest Frencharian of them all.
The old guy will be very
what's even funnier
very glad
is
to
the
be
fact
here.
he's Jewish.
Yeah, exactly. But he's
We'll be
he's
back.